The spiritual journey is one of the most profound and transformative experiences we can experience in our existence. It is a path that takes us beyond the superficial appearances of reality, beyond the limitations that our mind imposes, towards a broader and deeper understanding of who we truly are. This text is an invitation to explore the subtler dimensions of consciousness and discover how we can transcend the barriers that prevent us from reaching our full spiritual potential. Our perception of reality is often limited by the five senses and the social conditioning we receive throughout life. We live in a three-dimensional world where time and space seem to be absolute constants and where materiality dominates our everyday experience. However, there is a deeper dimension of reality that transcends these apparent limitations, a dimension where consciousness operates at a higher level and where the laws that govern our experience are fundamentally different. The first step on this journey of expanding consciousness is recognizing that we are more than our physical bodies. Modern science is beginning to understand what ancient spiritual traditions have always known: consciousness is not confined to the limits of the physical brain. Our deepest essence is an expression of universal consciousness, a spark of the divine that temporarily inhabits this physical vehicle we call our body. Meditation emerges as a fundamental tool in this process of self-discovery. Through regular meditative practice, we begin to experience altered states of consciousness that allow us to transcend the limitations of the ego and access subtler dimensions of reality. In the deep silence of meditation, we can observe how our thoughts and emotions arise and pass away, developing a deeper understanding of the transient nature of our mental experience. The power of spiritual desire is a transformative force that cannot be underestimated. Unlike the worldly desires that arise from the ego and that often keep us trapped in cycles of dissatisfaction, genuine spiritual desire is a force that drives us toward our true nature. It is a deep yearning for understanding, for connection with the divine, for transcendence. This desire does not arise from a void, it is a calling from our own soul, a reflection of our deepest nature seeking expression through our temporal existence. The expanded consciousness we develop through spiritual practice allows us to understand that time is not a straight line, but a multidimensional field of possibilities. In deep meditation, we may occasionally experience glimpses of future events or insights into situations that have not yet manifested on the physical plane. This does not mean that the future is predetermined, but rather that there is a dimension of reality where all possibilities coexist in an eternal present. Our ability to shape the future is closely linked to the power of our consciousness. When we alter our internal perception, when we expand our understanding and raise our vibrational frequency, we begin to attract experiences that resonate with this new state of being. It's not just about positive thinking or visualization, although those are useful tools, but about a fundamental transformation in our energetic field and the way we interact with reality. The law of attraction, often misunderstood and superficially interpreted, operates on a much deeper level than simply wanting something and waiting for it to happen. It is a universal law that reflects the interconnected nature of reality. When we elevate our consciousness and align our desires with our soul's highest purpose, we begin to manifest experiences that contribute to our spiritual growth and the highest good of all beings. Subtle energy work is a fundamental aspect of spiritual development. Our physical body is permeated by a complex system of subtle energies, the chakras, meridians, and energy fields that Eastern traditions have long recognized. Through practices such as meditation, pranayama, breathing techniques, and other spiritual disciplines, we can learn to perceive and work with these energies, promoting healing and transformation at all levels of our being. Purification of the ego is an essential process in the spiritual journey. The ego is not our enemy, it is a necessary tool for our existence on the physical plane. However, when we identify exclusively with the ego, we lose touch with our deeper nature. Spiritual work is not about destroying the ego, but about transcending it, about developing a healthier relationship with that part of our psyche, allowing it to serve our soul's greater purpose. The power of conscious intention is a transformative force in our spiritual journey. When we set clear intentions aligned with our higher purpose, we create a field of resonance that attracts experiences and opportunities that support our growth. Intention goes beyond simple desire, It is a deep commitment to our spiritual evolution, a statement of purpose that emerges from the core of our being. Conscious presence in the present moment is a portal to the spiritual dimension of existence. When we can truly inhabit the now, we transcend the limitations of linear time and access a state of expanded consciousness where profound insights and transformative experiences can occur. The present is the only moment when real transformation can happen. It is the point of power where we can align our consciousness with the highest frequencies of reality. Working with the law of karma is fundamental to our spiritual evolution. Karma is not simply cause and effect in the mundane sense, but a universal law that governs balance and harmony on all levels of existence. Through understanding and consciously working with this law, we can begin to transcend limiting patterns and create new possibilities for our evolution. The importance of spiritual discernment cannot be underestimated. As we progress on our journey, we encounter diverse teachings, practices, and traditions. Discernment allows us to distinguish what is truly useful for our growth from what can divert us from the path. This discernment comes not just from the intellect, but from an inner wisdom that we develop through consistent spiritual practice. The power of gratitude is a transformative force in our spiritual journey. When we cultivate a state of genuine gratitude, not just for positive experiences, but for all aspects of our lives, we create an energetic field that attracts more blessings and opportunities for growth. Gratitude connects us with the natural abundance of the universe and helps us maintain a positive outlook even in challenging times. Connecting with nature is a vital aspect of spiritual development. Nature is a direct expression of divine intelligence, and when we connect deeply with it, we can access wisdom and healing on deep levels. Practices such as outdoor meditation, mindful walks in nature, and working with the energies of the elements can significantly accelerate our spiritual evolution. The role of selfless service in our spiritual journey cannot be ignored. When we serve others without expectation of reward, we transcend the limitations of the ego and align ourselves with the natural flow of give and receive in the universe. Service helps us develop compassion, humility, and a deeper understanding of our interconnectedness with all beings. The importance of spiritual community, or sangha, is significant in our journey. Although spiritual work is fundamentally individual, the support and inspiration we receive from other seekers along the path can be invaluable. The community provides us with opportunities for growth through the mirror of relationships and helps us maintain commitment to our practice in challenging times. Dream work is a powerful tool in spiritual development. Dreams are a bridge between our ordinary consciousness and deeper dimensions of the psyche. Through conscious dream work, we can receive guidance, insights, and healing on deep levels. The practice of dream consciousness, or lucid dreaming, can help us explore subtler dimensions of reality and accelerate our spiritual evolution. Integrating spiritual experiences into our everyday lives is a crucial aspect of the path. It's not enough to have transcendent experiences during meditation or on spiritual retreats. We need to find ways to bring this expanded awareness into every aspect of our lives. This includes our relationships, work, daily decisions, and how we relate to the challenges we encounter. The power of forgiveness is a transformative force in our spiritual journey. When we truly forgive ourselves and others, we release enormous amounts of energy that have been trapped in resentment and hurt. Forgiveness does not mean approving harmful behaviors, but rather releasing ourselves from the emotional weight we carry when we hold on to painful past experiences. The importance of rhythm in spiritual practice cannot be underestimated. Just as nature operates in cycles, our spiritual practice also benefits from a rhythmic approach. This includes periods of intense practice followed by periods of integration, moments of expansion and moments of contraction, times of silence and times of expression. Understanding and working with these natural rhythms can significantly enhance our evolution. Shadow work is an essential part of spiritual development. Our shadow contains aspects of ourselves that we repress or deny, and until we integrate these parts, they continue to influence our lives in unconscious ways. Authentic spiritual work requires that we face and integrate our shadow, transforming this energy into strength for our evolution. The importance of purification on all levels, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, cannot be ignored. These include practices of physical purification through proper diet and exercise, emotional purification through working with emotions, mental purification through meditation and observation of thoughts, and spiritual purification through practices such as mantras, prayers, and sacred rituals. The power of sound and vibration is a fundamental tool in spiritual work. Ancient traditions recognize sound as a primordial creative force, and practices such as chanting mantras, chanting sacred sounds, and working with specific frequencies can have a profound impact on our consciousness and energetic field. The importance of conscious breathing cannot be underestimated. Breathing is a bridge between the conscious and the unconscious, between the physical and the subtle. Through specific breathing practices, we can influence our state of consciousness, balance our nervous system, and access expanded states of perception. Working with sexual energy is an important yet often misunderstood aspect of spiritual development. Sexual energy is a powerful life force that, when properly understood and directed, can significantly accelerate our spiritual evolution. This involves energetic transmutation practices and the development of a more conscious relationship with our sexuality. The importance of balance between the masculine and feminine aspects of our consciousness is fundamental. Regardless of our physical gender, we all contain masculine and feminine qualities that need to be harmonized for our full spiritual development. This balance allows us to access a more complete understanding of our nature and the universe. The power of the spoken and written word in our spiritual journey cannot be ignored. Words carry energy and creative power. Through the conscious use of language, we can create positive changes in our lives and the world around us. This includes practices such as positive affirmations, spiritual decrees, and conscious use of our everyday communication. The importance of art and creativity in spiritual development is significant. Creative expression allows us to access and express deeper aspects of our consciousness. Through art, we can process spiritual experiences, receive insights, and communicate truths that transcend the limitations of ordinary language. Working with the elements, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, is a fundamental part of spiritual practice. Each element represents different aspects of our consciousness, and working with them can help us develop specific qualities and balance our being on all levels. The importance of silence in our spiritual journey cannot be underestimated. In deep silence, beyond thoughts and words, we can access subtler dimensions of our consciousness and receive direct guidance from our divine essence. Cultivating inner silence is a fundamental practice for spiritual development. The power of acceptance and non-judgment is transformative in our journey. When we learn to fully accept what is, without resistance and without judgment, we create space for genuine transformation. This does not mean passivity, but rather a wiser and more effective way of relating to reality. The importance of discerning between genuine spiritual experiences and ego illusions is crucial. The spiritual path is fraught with subtle traps, and developing the ability to distinguish between authentic experiences and self-deception is critical to our progress. Working with the lunar and solar cycles can significantly enhance our spiritual practice. These natural cycles influence our energy and consciousness in profound ways, and aligning our practices with them can amplify their transformative effects. The importance of preparing the physical body for deeper spiritual experiences cannot be overlooked. This includes purification practices, specific exercises, and a proper diet that supports our spiritual evolution. The power of collective intention and group practice can significantly amplify our spiritual efforts. When we come together with other seekers with aligned intentions, we create a powerful energetic field that can facilitate transformative experiences and accelerate our spiritual growth. The importance of studying sacred texts and spiritual teachings cannot be underestimated. While direct experience is key, knowledge passed down through spiritual traditions can provide us with valuable maps for our journey and help us avoid common pitfalls along the way. Working with archetypes and sacred symbols is a powerful tool in spiritual development. Archetypes are universal patterns of consciousness that can help us understand deep aspects of our psyche and the cosmos. Consciously working with them can catalyze significant transformations in our consciousness. The importance of humility on the spiritual path cannot be overstated. True humility is not self-deprecation, but rather an honest recognition of our position in the cosmos, simultaneously divine in essence and limited in our current expression. This humility keeps us open to learning and continued growth. The power of conscious ritual in our spiritual practice is significant. Rituals are not just empty actions or superstitions, but powerful tools to align our consciousness with higher frequencies and create profound changes in our being. Mindful ritual connects us with the sacred and helps us integrate spiritual insights into our everyday lives. The importance of working with spiritual guides and mentors is fundamental in our journey. These can be both incarnated and disembodied beings that help us on our path. Developing the discernment to recognize and work appropriately with these guides is a crucial part of our evolution. The power of energy healing in working with subtle frequencies is an important part of spiritual development. As our sensitivity develops, we can learn to consciously work with healing energies for the benefit of ourselves and others. This work requires responsibility and judgment. The importance of integrating science and spirituality cannot be ignored in our times. Many discoveries in quantum physics and neuroscience begin to validate what ancient spiritual traditions have always known. This integration helps us build a more complete understanding of reality. Working with the cycles of death and rebirth in our spiritual journey is fundamental. Not just physical death, but the little deaths we experience along the way, the death of limiting beliefs, of old patterns, of aspects of the ego that no longer serve us. Each death carries with it the seed of a new birth. The importance of patience and persistence on the spiritual path cannot be underestimated. Genuine transformation takes time, and we often go through periods of apparent stagnation or regression. Understanding these cycles helps us maintain our practice even in challenging times. The power of unconditional love as a transformative force in our journey is immense. As we develop our ability to love beyond the limitations of the ego, we experience a significant expansion of consciousness and a deeper connection to all life. The importance of ancestor work in our spiritual journey is significant. We carry not only genes, but also energetic and karmic patterns from our ancestors. Conscious work with this lineage can help us heal old patterns and release deep blockages. The power of contemplating nature as a spiritual practice is profound. Every aspect of nature can teach us something about universal laws and our own nature. Close observation of natural cycles connects us with the intrinsic wisdom of life. The importance of balancing action and non-action in our spiritual practice is crucial. There are times for intense effort and times for letting go and allowing. Developing the wisdom to discern between these moments is a fundamental part of the path. Working with Kundalini and transformative energies requires care and respect. This powerful life force, when awakened prematurely or without adequate preparation, can cause significant challenges. The importance of a solid foundation and proper guidance cannot be underestimated. Integrating mystical experiences into our everyday lives is a crucial aspect of the path. It's not enough to have transcendent experiences. We need to find ways to translate these experiences into concrete changes in the way we live and relate to the world. The power of forgiveness as a spiritual practice goes beyond the simple act of letting go. It is a transformative force that frees us from karmic patterns and allows us to access higher states of consciousness. True forgiveness is an act of self-love and universal compassion. The importance of paying attention to dreams and signs on our journey cannot be ignored. The universe is constantly sending us messages through various forms: dreams, synchronicities, meaningful encounters. Developing sensitivity to recognize and interpret these signs enriches our journey. Working with the internal elements, our own mental, emotional, and energetic patterns, is just as important as working with external elements. Inner alchemy is a continuous process of transformation and refinement of our consciousness. The importance of connecting with the sacred feminine and masculine in our spiritual journey is fundamental. These archetypal energies represent different aspects of divine consciousness, and their balance within us is essential for our integral development. The power of music and sound as tools for spiritual transformation is profound. Different sound frequencies can affect our consciousness in specific ways, and the conscious use of sound can facilitate expanded states of awareness and healing. The importance of documenting our spiritual journey through journaling, art, or other forms of expression cannot be underestimated. This record allows us to track our progress, identify patterns, and more deeply integrate our experiences. Working with emotions as a portal to spiritual growth is fundamental. Our emotions are not obstacles to be overcome, but rather messengers that bring us important information about our internal state and areas that need attention and healing. The importance of conscious presence in all our actions is a spiritual practice in itself. Every moment, every breath, every interaction is an opportunity to practice presence and expand our awareness. The power of inner silence as a source of wisdom and transformation is immense. In deep silence, beyond thoughts and mental noise, we can access subtler dimensions of our consciousness and receive direct guidance from our divine essence. The spiritual journey is a continuous process of expansion and transformation. There is no end point to be reached, but rather a constant evolution of our consciousness. Each step along the way takes us to new levels of understanding and experience. As we advance on our spiritual journey, we discover that the true goal is not to accumulate mystical experiences or powers, but rather to awaken to our true nature and express this realization in every aspect of our lives. The spiritual path is ultimately a return to our deepest essence, a recognition of who we truly are. Working with vital energy or prana is fundamental in our spiritual journey. This vital force that permeates the entire universe is the basis of our existence, and learning to work consciously with it can profoundly transform our experience of life. Through practices such as pranayama, qigong, or other energetic techniques, we can increase our vitality and expand our consciousness. The importance of transmuting dense energies in our spiritual practice cannot be ignored. Every challenge, every difficult emotion, every limiting pattern contains energy that can be transformed and redirected toward our growth. This inner alchemy is a continuous process of refining our consciousness. The power of collective consciousness in our spiritual evolution is significant. We are part of a unified field of consciousness, and our individual transformations contribute to the elevation of planetary consciousness as a whole. This understanding gives us a broader perspective on our spiritual work. The importance of working with the Akashic records and universal memory in our journey is profound. These records contain all the information about our individual and collective evolution, and accessing them can provide us with valuable insights into our path and purpose. Developing intuition as a guide on our spiritual journey is essential. As we refine our sensitivity and learn to trust our inner wisdom, intuition becomes a reliable compass that guides us toward our highest good. The importance of working with the higher dimensions of consciousness in our practice cannot be underestimated. As we expand our perception beyond the physical plane, we begin to understand the multidimensional nature of our existence and the infinite possibilities available for our evolution. The power of ancestral healing in our spiritual journey is transformative. By working with the memories and patterns passed down through our family lineage, we can not only free ourselves from inherited limitations, but also contribute to the healing of past and future generations. The importance of connecting with the natural kingdoms, mineral, vegetable, and animal, in our spiritual practice is fundamental. Each kingdom has its own wisdom and can teach us important aspects about our own nature and the universal laws that govern all existence. Working with cosmic and planetary cycles can significantly enrich our spiritual journey. Understanding and aligning with these cycles allows us to flow more harmoniously with universal energies and maximize our growth potential. The importance of transmuting sexual energy in our spiritual practice deserves special attention. This powerful life force, when properly understood and directed, can significantly accelerate our spiritual evolution and connect us with heightened states of consciousness. The power of sacred sound and mantras on our journey is profound. Each sound carries a specific frequency that can influence our consciousness in particular ways. Conscious work with sound can help us tune into higher frequencies and facilitate our transformation. The importance of working with the chakras and subtle energy centers cannot be underestimated. These energy vortices are points of interface between our different dimensions of being, and their balance and proper activation are fundamental to our spiritual evolution. The development of inner vision and spiritual clairvoyance is a natural aspect of our evolution. As we refine our perception, we begin to see beyond surface appearances and understand the true causes and connections behind the events in our lives. The importance of practicing detachment in our spiritual journey is fundamental. Detachment does not mean indifference, but rather a deep understanding of the transitory nature of all things and an ability to flow with life's changes without resistance. The power of the spoken word and spiritual decrees in our practice cannot be ignored. Words carry creative power, and when spoken with awareness and clear intention, they can manifest significant changes in our reality. The importance of working with astral elements and planetary influences in our spiritual evolution deserves attention. Each planet and astral configuration carries specific qualities that can be used consciously for our development. The development of telepathy and non-verbal communication is a natural aspect of spiritual growth. As our consciousness expands, we begin to notice and interact with more subtle levels of communication and connection. The importance of integrating science and spirituality in our practice cannot be overlooked. Discoveries in quantum physics and neuroscience are beginning to validate many ancient spiritual teachings, creating a bridge between scientific knowledge and esoteric wisdom. The power of vibrational healing and working with frequencies in our journey is significant. Everything in the universe is energy vibrating at different frequencies, and learning to consciously work with these vibrations can facilitate our transformation and healing. The importance of working with dimensional portals and power points on Earth in our spiritual practice can significantly enrich our experience. These sacred sites carry specific energies that can catalyze our evolution. The development of multidimensional vision and the ability to perceive different planes of reality is a natural part of our spiritual evolution. As our consciousness expands, we begin to understand the holographic nature of the universe and our own multidimensionality. The importance of working with the cycles of death and rebirth in our journey cannot be underestimated. Every significant transformation involves the death of something old to make way for the new, and understanding this process helps us navigate change with more grace and wisdom. The power of conscious presence as a spiritual practice is fundamental. Every moment is an opportunity to awaken more fully to our true nature, and the constant practice of presence anchors us more deeply in the now. The importance of working with the Earth's crystalline matrix in our spiritual evolution is significant. Crystals and minerals are not just physical objects, but focal points of energy in consciousness that can help us tune into higher frequencies and facilitate our transformation. The development of heart telepathy is a natural aspect of spiritual evolution. This form of communication transcends words and allows us to connect directly with the essence of beings, experiencing a deep understanding that goes beyond the intellect. The importance of working with the ascended masters and spiritual hierarchies in our journey cannot be ignored. These evolved beings offer guidance and support on subtle levels, helping us navigate the challenges of the spiritual path with more wisdom. The power of spiritual radiance in our practice is transformative. As our vibrational frequency rises, we naturally begin to radiate light and love, positively influencing all beings around us without the need for specific words or actions. The importance of integration between the different levels of our being, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, is crucial for our development. This integration allows us to function as a coherent whole, expressing our divine essence through all aspects of our existence. Working with sacred geometry and universal patterns in our spiritual journey can provide profound insights into the nature of reality. These patterns are the language of the universe, manifesting on all levels of existence. The importance of transmuting collective karma in our practice cannot be underestimated. As interconnected beings, we have the ability to contribute to the release of karmic patterns that affect all humanity through our own work of inner transformation. The development of unified vision and the ability to perceive the fundamental unity of all existence is an important milestone in our spiritual evolution. This realization dissolves illusions of separation and allows us to experience our true nature as one consciousness. The importance of working with light codes and galactic frequencies in our journey can significantly accelerate our transformation. These elevated energies assist in activating our latent potential and expanding our consciousness. The power of gratitude as a transformative practice in our spiritual journey is immense. Genuine gratitude attunes us to the natural abundance of the universe and helps us maintain an elevated perspective even in challenging times. The importance of selfless service as a natural expression of our spiritual evolution cannot be forgotten. As our consciousness expands, we naturally feel the urge to contribute to the well-being of all beings. Working with ancestral records and cellular memory on our journey can release deep blockages and allow for the fullest expression of our potential. This healing at the cellular level affects not only our own lives, but has repercussions across generations. The importance of synchronicity as the language of the universe in our spiritual practice is significant. Learning to recognize and interpret synchronicities helps us navigate our journey with more clarity and confidence. The power of silence as a portal to higher dimensions of consciousness is profound. In absolute silence, we can transcend the limitations of the mind and experience states of mystical union with the divine. The spiritual journey is ultimately a return to our true nature. All the work we do, all the practices we undertake, all the transformations we experience are different aspects of this one movement of awakening to who we truly are. As we advance along the path, we discover that the goal is not to achieve something external or become something different, but rather to fully recognize and manifest our divine essence that has always been present. This recognition transforms not only our own lives, but contributes to the elevation of the consciousness of all humanity. The spiritual path is both individual and universal. Each of us has our own unique journey, but we all share the same ultimate destination, awakening to our true divine nature. In this awakening, we find the deep peace we have always sought and the realization that we have never been separated from the source of all being.